I wanted to put together a series of driver head-to-heads to see which is the best driver of 2020. But obviously, because everyone's football obsessed in the office, somehow it's ended up as the World Cup of drivers. So I've got Alex here to do the draw.
Hello, Hannah.
Well, get on with it then.
Okay. TaylorMade SIM.
We'll go head to head with
Honma TR20.
This is such a bad idea. Ironically, we're putting Justin Rose's old and new driver head-to-head to kick off the 2020 NCG Driver World Cup. Now, we didn't have the TR20 back when we did the best driver testing, and I was really impressed with it when I reviewed it, so this could get interesting. Tech-wise, the big story with the SIM is the reshaping to help drive the club at speed, whereas the TR20 is all about weighting. The frame of the club is actually titanium, however the body is nearly all carbon fibre, saving over 35 grams of weight. Right, in terms of looks, I don't think these two could be more dissimilar. The Honma is so simple and classic. I mean, there's literally nothing to it, it's just a plain gloss finish, and I love it. The SIM couldn't be more different. It's very modern, bold, and the chalk colouring is so nice on the top. I think all the different elements just really work well together. To be honest, I think both Honma and TaylorMade have nailed it here, but I think the SIM has to clinch the win here, purely down to the fact it has that small alignment marker on the top, which I think is a really nice visual at a dress. Okay, feel. When you strike it out the middle, it's pretty hard to separate these two. But I would say on off-centre strikes, the SIM isn't quite as good as the TR20. I think this is down to the slightly thinner club face and the lighter club head. In terms of performance, the first thing I noticed was the difference in launch. The Honma launched significantly higher, which I think was partly due to the fact that the shaft in this sample is counterbalanced and has quite a soft tip, but also due to the lightweight nature of the club head. When I struck this well, the ball flight was exceptional, a really nice high-flying draw, and probably was slightly more impressive than the SIM flight. The lightweight nature was also helping with distance. I mean, I was moving this thing seriously quickly, clocking over 100 mph of club head speed, and some shots were flying 230 yards, which is very good distance for me. Now, although I was swinging the TaylorMade slower, at around 95 mph, I was still getting 220 yards of carry out of it. This is really interesting and more efficient than the typical 3 yards for every 1 mph slower theory would suggest. I would also say my front to back dispersion was better, and the shot pattern was definitely a lot more neutral down the target line. So although the Honma was helping me out with distance, I noticed the difference in dispersion, and with the speed I was swinging this, I definitely could have done with a different bend profile in the shaft. It was just too whippy, so I was missing a lot of shots left. The TaylorMade, on the other hand, was much more consistent, probably because I was custom fit into it. My dispersion was a lot better overall with the SIM Max, and I also found it was more workable and I could move it both ways if I needed to. Wow, this one was seriously close. But in the end, for me, I think the dispersion benefits from the SIM would outweigh the extra yardage from the Honma. But it would be really interesting to see if this changed if I was custom fit into the TR20. Right, that's all for this week. Alex, who's up next?
Ping G410.
We'll go head to head with
Cobra Speed Zone.
I'll see you again next time to find out who the TaylorMade SIM Max will face in the semi-finals of the 2020 NCG Driver World Cup. I still can't believe they've made me do this.